It's hot rod time, and the Model 8 here. Harvey's hidden off camera because he doesn't want to be on camera. But this is the project. So let's run through what we're going to do and then get into it. So headers are coming off, exhaust system's coming off. We're going to build a full stainless exhaust system for it, all tucked, nice, do away with the late styles. We're then going to get all the zoomies, sorry. We're then going to go Model A front grille, Model A radiator, bonnet, getting all look tidy on the front. Different front radius rods, tidy the front end up, different spring perches, different shock mounts, and then get into the rear end and try and lower her a little bit. If we've got time, we're also taking the red flames off and she's going full black. It's a beautiful sunny day here in Devon and we're in the garage. So we cracked on a little bit last night because we were kind of just getting set for today. We cut the old spring shock mounts off and sort of just had a look at what we've got. We've got a little bit of repair over there to do. Strip the front end out, see what we are and aren't using. Old exhaust systems off, give us a nice clear way. Went through and did a bit of a part shopping list last night for what we need. But we got Model A to Model B, front grille, conversion bonnet, grille, steering arms, need to make the longer steering arm, steering drop links, F-150 shock mounts. We got a radiator with fan. So that is what we're mocking up today. Then there'll be a big shopping list coming from Harv, who's still off camera. And then we'll go from there. So yeah, let's crack into it. We're gonna cut the old mounts off for the radius rods, start mocking stuff up, and we might cut the front cross member, split it, raise it, so that he's got a bit more of a drop on the front, because we're gonna stance this thing out and try and take a couple of inches out the front and back. So yeah, let's get to it. Cue some time lapse. We want to get the front of the car a little bit lower, so we're actually gonna notch into the front cross member, make up a nice new plate to go in about an inch higher. We're governed by our clamp length for our U-bolts as to how high we can come up and still safely get a full nut on the bottom with some threads poking through. So we're going to get back an inch, which gives us an inch of clearance. I think an inch of clearance will put us into a place where we don't need to notch the side of the chassis rails. Hello, dog. Yes, you like hot rods. So we're going to cut into this, get these brake lines out of the way, bring this up, make some nice side plates so it's all filled in nice and strong, TIG weld everything in, some nice clean welds in here, kind of try and make it look as if it was meant to be. And that'll achieve a little bit of lows on the front, which is the stance that Harvey wants. Give us a little more of a drop, and go from there. Mark the cross member out. We've cut ourselves a window just wider than the spring. Made ourselves a little adapter plate. This then sits in to here, gets welded in, gives us about 3/4 inch to an inch of lift. Then we'll box the sides in, blend it all, and make it look like it always was. So yeah, let's get on and do some welding. Right, we've done the cross-member modification. Done our nice little raised plate, and you can't even tell really. It's painted it black. Harvey still don't want to be on camera. But we're in, so that should give us roughly, I've had a measure up, it's about a mil under an inch. So we've got an inch extra drop in the front, which is good. So we're going to get the spring on, get the radius rods on, and then measure our 7 degrees of caster in the front axle, see where we need to cut the tabs off down here, and do our tabs for our joints onto the chassis. We're probably going to make those as well, so we'll video doing that on the lathe. We are about 5 hours in. We kind of crashed on and forgot to do a lot of filming, so apologies, but we will give you an update on where we are and what we're doing now. So, front cross-member is done. All in, done, smooth, even painted. I said we crashed on. So, that's been raised, it's lowered the front a hell of a lot, which is good. All the new axles mocked in, everything's where it needs to be. Good sign as well, this slipped straight in where it needs to go, so everything was fine. Now we've just cut the old mounts off the chassis so we can get this all set. Got to get 7 degrees of caster in the front. Once that's set there, we can look at shock mounts. I've just been looking at the F150 shock mounts. We've got F150 style shock mounts, which are here, and we've run into a little issue on the Model A chassis. So let me show you these. So these are what we had. Now these need to go about here, but the problem you'll see, they hang down too low, they're too big. We need to rake them back like that, so it hang out the bottom of the chassis. So what I've done, I've just chopped this one off, nicely rounded it all. We'll get that mounted in where it needs to be, so we've got 7 degrees of angle up to marry with our axle angle. That will go in there. Then we're going to get the bit I've cut off, which has disappeared from me. So over here, we're going to effectively move that from that position. We've cut that off, and we're going to TIG weld that on back in that position. Put a nice V into this, we get loads of penetration, and then that will weld on like that. You've got all the original strength in that bolt hole, and this one is just stop it rocking and changing angle. So let's crack on with that. But first, we need to make some plates for this. So we've put this on axle stands, got this up to the right degreeage, and we know we need 3.5 to center, 3.5 inch to center bracket making, nice bracket with a tapered hole in it, and that allows your rod end to fit into the tapered hole, setting your axle at the correct angle. We'll also, before we weld those on, we will check all the alignment, make sure the center to rear wheel and center to front wheel is correct, and get those welded on. We'll tack them in place for now and make sure we're happy with them and everything sits right. And then we'll look at steering arms and see what we got for clearance and whether we need drop arms. But we are pushing on. One thing I will say, always buy well branded, well-known parts. So I've bought some bits, and unfortunately, and we weren't even reefing on it, and I mean not at all, we did the clamp up, and I don't think I'd even compressed it into the nylock yet, and that split, which could have been a massive catastrophic failure on the front end, because this is holding your spring to the car. So just keep an eye out for that. What we think has happened, if you look in the corner, they've been over compressed, whereas these have still got a nice radius to them. So we think that's put fatigue into the metal, and you can see there's rust on the inside of the joint. So we believe it was already cracked from being over bent. So yeah, keep an eye out for that. That could have been catastrophic, but we were crushing on. And when I get to the fun stuff and bracket making, get a bit of CAD, our cardboard-aided design that we like out, I'll swing back over and show you what the plan is with that. I'm finding. Anyway, we've got to make some brackets to put the radius rods into. Now these are the old ones. Ugh. It looks like they've cut a bit of a square rod end off and just, I don't know, steering arm or something welded on the back. So these are horrendous, plus they're not now, they're too long, so they're going anyway. So we got some plate the same thickness, and effectively what I'm planning on doing, if I get a little pen and show you, I'm going to make a nice triangular bracket, kind of comes down, rounded at the bottom, up like that, nice V shape, with then 2 ribs going off backwards for strength. We'll do a whole wraparound piece that goes round and under, so effectively 3D. You'll end up with, why have I not got a clean bit of metal to show you, but you'll end up with a bracket that's kind of looks like that, so it's got a side to it. Give you loads of strength this way because you've got the rib in it, and obviously pulling strength as well is not, there's no flex, so that's what we're going to do. But on the back of this we need to turn up a boss that effectively has your taper in it to receive your rod end, so that's what we're going for. Man cleaning. Right, so I'm set up on the lathe. I've just turned off a little bit of steel, nice bit of bar. We're going to center drill this. We're going to fire through with a 1/2 inch drill bit, then we'll split this in 2, put a little step in them so they sit into the plate and locate nicely in recess. Then this will be welded on to our bracket and form the mounts at either side of the chassis. Right, spacers or taper bushes are made. So they're going on here. So these are what we've laid out. These are the lines we're going to cut. That will go on there. Then effectively we'll build a side to these that wraps around underneath to give them loads of strength. Center, punch them, drill them through, weld this on, put a nut and bolt through it so we know it's dead centered, and then we'll run the taper through them so they taper the plate as well. It is late, we are tired, and the curry has just arrived, but we have finished the plates. So let me show you what I've got here. Well, we haven't finished them, we've got to put some sides on them, but we've cut the taper, TIG welded that on nicely, and then tomorrow we're going to weld 2 ribs down either side of the plate about 1 inch high to give it some rigidity in twisting form, and they will get welded onto the chassis there, and they have set our correct angle of 7 degrees in the front axle. We've also just checked the steering arms, and by some stroke of luck the new steering arms are actually 1/4 inch longer, so we don't have an issue with anything hitting the radius rods either. So I'd say all in all that was a pretty successful day. And to add, she's been lowered on the back as well, so the stance is looking to bollocks. But we're there. We've had a long day, we put a big push in, but we've cracked a lot out. So let's see you in the morning. Oh, look at a barnet. See you in the morning, and we'll crack on, weld some more bits together, get some front end constructed, and hopefully by the time Harvey leaves tomorrow, and he's leaving me with the car to finish it and do the exhaust and do other bits, by the end of tomorrow we might have a radiator mocked, a grill shell mocked, and a bonnet on for you to see what it looks like. But you'll have to stay tuned. See you tomorrow. We're back. We're fueled up. We had a nice curry last night. You regretted it. It was hot. threw the big man card, didn't he, and went for something hot. I did warn him. The old Devon chili got to him. It's a beautiful sunny day here, and we are getting this thing rolling. So, I've cracked on this morning, and I've just made these 2 radius rod mounts. Nice bit of shape to them. So, basically got ourselves our plate we cut out. Made some nice wings for the sides, give you a bit of lateral strength as well when it's welded on. Smoothed them, blended them. That's better than off the shelf bolt. Well, we think so anyway. So, plan is now, these will fit on lovely here to achieve our 7 degrees. Pull up to the body, weld on, just inset from the rolled edge so they flow nice with the chassis line. So we're going to measure, get measured centre to centre of the wheels, make sure all the track's correct, get some measurements across the car, make sure everything's square, and then we're going to get those tacked on, measure it again, make sure they're fine, make sure all the rods are adjusted to the same length, and then we're going to weld them on, and she's a roller again. So for a 2-day job, I think we've done pretty well to get it to this point. Front cross members all done, all the new front end setups on, spreader popped in lovely like I said, so we know everything's nice and square. Rear's been lowered, and I think the stance is looking pretty hard now. So she looks, got that Cali rake going on, little bit of lift at the back, dropped at the front. Harv's just measuring up some bigger meats in the back, get him an extra inch of sort of profile hiding in the arch, which would be nice, a bit wider. So yeah, let's get that, and hopefully before he heads on back home, we're going to have a grill, bonnet and radiator mocked on, so we can finally see what this bad little hot rod looks like. Arms are on, done, welded, car square as hell, wheelbase is perfect. Time for the unveiling. So this is what we're going to have. Oh yeah, look at that. 32 grill, bonnet, stance is spot on. There's the nice brackets we've made. Real nice teardrop off on the end. She is looking tough. What's your thoughts, people? I think that's one badass little hot rod we've built. So, we'll leave it there for today. We'll jump back in probably most nights this week, but we'll split it up a bit. We're going to jump into exhausts next, get the shock mounts done, and start getting her in final mock. Got to get the bonnet on properly, we need a few bits to be able to do that, so Harv's on ordering duty now. The horrible part comes spending the money. We got to do something nice with the headlights. We're thinking a nice little bar like this. Dead giveaway on what headlights we're using. She's going to go 32, which will set it off real nice. And I might have just talked him into sacking the discs off. So I think we might end up with a nice set of fin drum brakes on there as well. But I don't know, some may agree, some may not. But a kind of old school hot rod, hard looking, traditional, yet stealth. The flames didn't really suit it, let's face it. They're not screaming to us. So we decided, it's only sandpaper and a bit of compound. Boom, she's gone. And look at the difference already in that. Just sets it off. Just sets it off. No more flames. So we'll do the other side. Bit of 1500. We just 1500 it over by hand. Wet sanded it. Just hit it with some 3D 1 and 2 stage. Which I got to be honest, first time really using that stuff other than on the bike for something like this. And the stage 1, if there was any faint paint left, pinstriping paint, just took it straight off, but wasn't harsh enough to cut into the base layer, so that's perfect. And then yeah, here with the second stage in it, it's giving it that. So I think you'll agree, we will end it here this time, but we're on the road to one badass little hot rod. Do the usual if you can, like and subscribe, slam the comments down, I do like replying to you guys.